This is the second time I've watched this. The first time was about a year or so ago. I was dating somebody, and we were kind of, on the nights that we would have date night at the house, we were looking for a show to watch, and we have wildly different tastes in television. So I pitched this to her because it's something that when Paramount, during the early days of the streaming wars, Paramount announced on Paramount Day 87 billion television shows that were coming to Paramount Plus over the next few years. One of them was this, and I was interested in it because I am a fan of Hollywood history. I enjoy like the behind the scenes history of how some of our favorite movies got made, and this was about how The Godfather got made. So, to do a quick back and forth about this before we go any further, Alexis, I asked you to be a part of this. Did you a fan of Hollywood history? Were you a fan of The Godfather? Were you just trying to do me a favor so I'll owe you back? Like, what was your deal here? What made you want to do this with me tonight?
Oh, you'll actually pay me back for this? Okay, I'm going to make a note of that.
All right, Dorian, what are you a fan of The Godfather?
Okay, well, first of all,
Dodge and weave.
I don't know anyone who isn't a fan of The Godfather. I mean, it is considered one of the greatest movies of all time. Now, I know people who will say that they don't want to sit through The Godfather on a regular basis.
It insists upon itself.
Yes, I get that. But you cannot deny what an epic movie it truly is.
Robert De Niro!
I was really hoping, actually, we could avoid the Family Guy reference, but apparently that was happening too much.
Hi, this is the Radulich Network. Have we not met?
Yeah, really?
Dude, I got you this job. Put your hand down.
Put it up.
Okay.
Come on, give me a... There we go.
Okay.
Wait. There it is.
For God's sake. Okay, now do the thing where you do the hearts.
We'll fix it in post.
We've been waiting for 20 minutes for you to get up and finish your point. Let's go.
Okay, no, it is an incredible film. It's amazing. When I saw the trailer for this, I was intrigued. I didn't have Paramount Plus. I actually still don't. I decided because the last time I borrowed your Paramount Plus access, I kept getting booted off because somebody at your house was trying to use it.
Probably me. So
yeah, so every time I tried to watch Knuckles, I got like 5 minutes of footage and it said, nope, must reset. So I watched Knuckles literally at like inches at a time.
That's great.
So I decided this time to just go ahead and buy the offer on Amazon. I found it was like, this is actually cheaper than paying for another subscription service.
So you're here because of your interest in the Godfather film.
Pretty much. I also really like the cast for this. I was like, this all seems like really good casting. Again, I do really like Miles Teller. I know he's made some stupid movies, but I don't understand a certain someone's hatred of the man. I am very intrigued with Dan Fogler and how far he's come. I mean, this guy was known for playing the corny side characters in B-movie comedies.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him come this far and playing Francis Ford Coppola and playing him so straight, I was just like, okay, I want to see more of what he's doing. You know, this is not something that, 10 years ago, I would have predicted him doing.
Exactly.
And like you, I do love behind the scenes movies. I'm a big fan. This sounds weird, but I'm a big fan of seeing movies where you have actors playing other actors. This is why I'm really intrigued by that Saturday Night Live movie that's coming out later this year. I like the idea of seeing these unknown actors who are now playing, iconic actors and seeing what they bring like that to the table. One of my favorite movies is Ed Wood, and I freaking love seeing Martin Landau playing Bela Lugosi. That's the kind of thing I just find very fascinating. It's one thing to play a fictional character or even a historical character who's long dead, but to play an actor like that, when you're an actor, I think that presents a really unique challenge, and I like seeing what people can bring to that kind of a thing.
So, Dorian, you asked to be here. Once again, you muscled your way into another one of my podcasts. Obviously, you're a film guy. You make films and all of that. Godfather have a special place in your heart or what?
Absolutely. Godfather was the first R-rated film I was allowed to watch at a younger age.
Churchy McGee and Mrs. Churchy McGee let you watch The Godfather of all things?
Yeah, actually, it was on TV, and the only reason we got away with it. Now, again, the first R-rated film that they knew I watched, just to be clear.
Okay.
But Mr. Churchy McGee
Mhm.
was a huge fan of history.
Okay.
And so this had a very historical base to it. And I had been doing we'd been handling at the time that we watched this when I was much younger. Although not too long ago, but we were handling 1930s and 40s history.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was on TV. I think it was a cut version, but I ended up really loving it. It gave way to one of the first impressions that I would ever do, and then I would continue to do it for the rest of my life. You know, Bonasera, what have I ever done to make it treat me so disrespectfully? And so I've been doing that for years, but I'm not going to do the whole review in that voice because that's going to get really annoying. You know what I mean?
No, but at the end of this, I would like you to order from an Italian menu in that voice.
I will happily do that.
And then when I remove his picture from the screen, I will say it's not personal. It's just business.
Okay.
Well, you got to remember, I have access to now, so I can put myself right back on.
Ah, shit.
Anyways, not to take up too much time, I ended up just kind of about 6 years later, just really diving into these movies, the entire trilogy. I mean, the third one's weak, but we all know why, and Coppola has said why. And this showed me the reason that I was so excited about it is that I was that weird kid that when Mr. and Mrs. Churchy McGee would bring home DVDs that were like the 2-disc special edition that had all the behind-the-scenes stuff on it. Of course, I wanted to watch the movie, but I wanted to watch all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And I used to annoy the crap out of my friend for that because the people on this podcast, notwithstanding, but at the same time, maybe they would, are not the people that you want to bring. Like, dude, we're going to watch, Empire of Dreams, which is like the whole behind-the-scenes story of how Star Wars was made. But it is a documentary. To a lot of people, that's boring. What I love about the offer and why I wanted to be on this and talk about this is a movie that as a filmmaker, as a film lover, and all the elements that go on in front of the camera, behind the camera, before the cameras even roll, gets to be told in a way that is not boring to people. And they can watch it as someone who's like, I have no idea what you do for a living, Dorian, but I know it looks cool. I can be like, this kind of shows you on, there's a much grander scale, obviously, what happens. And it was done so well. And it was so entertaining to the people who I encouraged to watch it. And they're like, this is what you do for a living? I'm like, again, on a much grander scale, yes, this is what we go through. And, like, again, Alexis said, the cast was fantastic. The people playing, Al Pacino and James Caan, I was like, man, you guys, I mean, it's not mirror image, but it's close enough that I could buy if I never watched the movie that this was a behind the scenes thing. And just to cap off, I think it's funny since Alexis brought up Martin Landau in Ed Wood as Bela Lugosi. You've done good when you are playing a actor who is at that point long dead, and you win the Oscar over Sam Jackson going, "Say what? Say what again?" Because in that year's Academy Awards, Martin Landau beat out Samuel L. Jackson for Pulp Fiction for Best Supporting Actor.
First time an actor has ever won an Oscar for playing another actor.
Exactly.
Hey, something just went up with my camera. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. You're just frozen in this kind of bemused look.
Perfect. I actually don't know what I don't know what I look like. My camera went black for some odd reason, but
trust me, Mark, there are far worse ways that you could look right now.
I was editing earlier, and there's a great shot of me kind of rolling my eyes, and I clipped it right there. I look like the fucking Undertaker.
I get that sometimes when you're asking me for clips for TikTok, and I pause it so I can write down the time code, and then I look back. I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I should put that back another millisecond so I don't look like or anything.
Since he's frozen, everybody strike a pose, and that'll be the thumbnail.
Yeah, I will probably have to. Refresh in a second, but I want to get this out real quick. So two things. One, I started, I would say 1994, I graduated high school and I go into college, and it's probably 94, 95, 96 is where me and my friends at that time were really into buying DVD. There was a convergence of things happening all at the same time. Tower records were everywhere. DVDs were cheap enough to buy, with your disposable income. So we were constantly going to Tower Records, like buying a whole bunch of old movies and stuff, and we were having movie nights. And I was watching things like Dog Day Afternoon, Deliverance, The Deer Hunter, which is still going. It's that long of a movie, things like that. And there was a conversation that took place amongst my friends. They were like, "Oh, we should watch The Godfather," and I was like, "I've never seen it." They're like, "You've seen everything. What do you mean you've never seen The Godfather?" So, like I said, I'm in my late teens, early 20s, in the mid to late 90s. Had never seen The Godfather, and I've seen every other movie from the fucking 70s at this point. So I was made to watch the first two. But what I find amusing is that as many movies as we reviewed, old and new, on Rattleton Broadcasting Network, the only Godfather movie we ever did was Godfather Part 3. It was Sean's suggestion as an on trial.
Well, if any movie deserves to go on trial, it's that one.
Yeah, there are no...
Poor Sofia Coppola alone. She wasn't supposed to play the role. It was supposed to be Winona Ryder. There were scheduling conflicts. They were right at the wire. They had to do the best they could with what they had.
So that's my history with The Godfather. As far as this show goes, the other thing I wanted to bring up, and you guys can touch on this if you have something you want to add, and then we'll get into the show itself. I have my bachelor's degree is in literature. I know I'm a professional social worker, and that's what my master's is in. But going through college, I was a literature major, and I took a lot of like acting and screenwriting and directing classes, and nothing outside of college. Though I did do a little bit of extra acting when I lived in Los Angeles for a little bit. And I always thought, as much as I like writing, as much as I like acting, I think what my dream job was to be a producer. That's how this relates. I'm doing motions with my hand, realizing I'm still frozen.
I was going to say, I'm just waiting.
Can we change the color of his picture to black and white? Because it looks like that picture you pull up on. Like in memoriam. And it's like Mark Radulich, 19 whatever to 2024, and he's had that very warm smile.